Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing awesome. Today's video is my last trend video in partnership with Maybelline New York City. The trend this time was based around their Rock Nudes palette with metals being the theme, which I love. So let's get started. To prime the lids, I'm using Maybelline's Master Prime eyeshadow base, which is mattifying, so this will prevent any oils from coming through and breaking up the shadow, and it'll also keep the shadow on longer. Then for an even darker base for my lid color, I'm taking Maybelline's Color Tattoo in the shade Leather, and I'm just warming that up with my finger to apply it to the lid and blend it into the crease. Then picking up the first shade from the Rock Nudes palette, which is this light taupey shade on a blending brush, I'm just going to pop that in the crease using windshield wiper motions from outer corner to inner corner, just blending that right over that color tattoo, and this is going to be our transition shade for the other colors. Then to highlight the brow bone, I'm taking the lightest shade in the palette, which is this white, but it has a very pretty satin finish. Then on a clean fluffy brush, I'm grabbing the dark gray in the palette and I'm focusing this on the outer V of the eye. I'm first starting off with only a small amount of product on the brush, and then I'm going to build my way up and blend at the same time, instead of starting off with just a lot of product and then having to blend it out, which usually results in blending the dark shadow way too high and then it can just look messy. And I know you've heard it before, it's much easier to build the shadow up than it is to take the shadow away. For my lid shade, I wanted to use this color here. It's like a goldeny green bronze shade. It's like crazy. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm just placing this on a tiny shader brush and placing this all over my lid using tiny swiping motions. I find that this gives me the most color payoff with these shimmery shades. And then, of course, throughout the makeup, after each step, you're going to want to blend out any edge of whatever color you just put down. To add a little bit more depth to the outer corner, I felt like it wasn't dark enough. I'm taking that same dark matte gray, and on a skinnier, more tapered blending brush, I'm just re-adding this color to the outer V, and as I get less product on the brush, I'm going to be blending it up towards the tape so it makes my eyes look more angled. Grabbing my Too Faced glitter glue, I'm going to place this all over the lid because I want my lid to be a little bit more metallic. So I'm going to put another shadow on there and I want it to have a nice sticky base to stick to. Now can we just take a second to appreciate the packaging and design of this Kiko Milano eyeshadow. Holy moly, I fell in love. This is a wet and dry eyeshadow. Obviously I used mine dry, but I used the glitter glue so it was still nice and metallic, but you can use these wet as well and they're just so beautiful. Then I'm going to grab the blending brush with whatever leftover gray was on it and blend out the edges of that eyeshadow. Then I'm going to deepen up the crease one more time, adding a tiny amount of black on a tapered blending brush and just focusing that right in that V, not taking that too far up at all. I just wanted to add a little bit more darkness. And then of course, blend it out. To line my upper lash line, I took Maybelline's gel liner in Blackest Black, which I have not used in a minute. This used to be my go-to liner and I just stopped using gel for some reason, so I kind of sucked at it, but I didn't want anything over the top or dramatic, just a nice, simple, kind of light, faded winged liner. And if you haven't mastered winged liner, try using the tape as a guideline because it really does help in getting that outer line nice and straight and sharp. Then take a makeup remover wipe and clean up any fallout and adjust the angles of your eyeliner, and we can move on to the face. I'm prepping my skin with the Maybelline Master Prime, the Blur and Illuminate one, which is my favorite because it gives my skin a nice dewy radiance, and that's really important, especially when I'm going to be using a matte foundation. For foundation, I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless, and I'm in the shade 115 Ivory because I'm so pale, but I love this foundation a lot more than the original Fit Me, especially when used in conjunction with the illuminating primer and a beauty blender. It doesn't give me like a powdery matte finish, it gives me more of like a satin, healthy finish. For concealing and highlighting, I'm using the Maybelline Master Concealer for the under eyes, and I'm kind of mixing the Urban Decay Weightless Concealer for a little bit of concealing under the eyes just for some extra help, but I'm mostly using that for highlighting the rest of the face. And to blend that out, I am still kind of deciding whether I like my Beauty Blender or my Real Techniques sponge better. So I'm just kind of debating and bouncing back and forth between the two to see which one I like better. Then to lock down that concealer in place, I'm setting it with Tarte's Smooth Operator Setting Powder. And if you noticed the camera quality improve a lot from the first 3/4 of the video, I'm really sorry, but I was using a rented lens in the first half and it turned out to be not the best quality, so I'm sorry that the first half of the video was kind of crappy, but I'm back to being HD now. So I'm just going to continue on bronzing, and for that I'm using my Maybelline Master Contour. And I'm also going to be using the Maybelline Master Contour Kit for the blush and highlighter as well, so just applying those in the normal places. For the highlight shade, I am using this Hourglass Ambient Strobe Sculptor sponge thing, and you're basically just supposed to wet it and then use the other side to blend it out, and I thought it actually worked pretty well. So I just continued using this sponge and the Maybelline highlighter on the rest of my face. I'm shaping and filling in my brows with the Maybelline Define and Fill Duo in Soft Brown, and I do have a whole separate video on how I use this product, so if you're interested in that, it'll show you how I fill in my brows with this product in a lot more detail. Now back to the gel liner. I've been using gel in my waterline recently, and I feel like the staying power is a lot stronger, so I'm just putting that in my waterline and then using the brush to kind of smudge it down into my lashes, and then I'm going back to that dark gray in the palette on a little definer brush and smudging that out. To brighten up the inner corner area, I'm just taking that same highlight shade that we used on our face and highlighting the inner corners with it. I'm skipping falsies for this look and just adding a generous amount of this Tarte Lights Camera Flashes mascara to my top and bottom lashes. I'm setting all of that makeup in place with Urban Decay's Chill Makeup Setting Spray, and then I totally forgot to get a product shot of my lip product, but I'm using Tarte's lip paint in the shade Namaste, which is a beautiful peachy nude. So this is my completed Rock Nudes inspired makeup look. I tried to keep it on the simple side so you guys could recreate it, but I want to see what kind of looks you guys come up with using the palette. So if you decide to upload a picture of your makeup, then don't forget to hashtag Rock Nudes so I can find it. And of course, one final thank you to Maybelline for working with me for all these years and really being like the first makeup company to recognize my work. So thank you for partnering with me on these videos, and thank you guys for watching. I love you, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye guys!